Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the IB Sports NFL Week 4 preview show. As always, I am joined by my co-host, Actively Lazy, and our other co-host is at church praying for a 49ers victory. I guess y'all already play? This week?
No,
I can't even
no,
remember, man.
we got the Cardinals. I mean, we
Oh,
might
yeah,
need
well,
prayer
you're praying for the
after
49ers
the way
victory.
they beat y'all. We might need prayer.
Let me tell you something. Those Cardinals are really sneaky, man. I'm going to let you know they can sneak up. Y'all might be a little more familiar with them, but they're
that's what
very
it
sneaky
was.
team, man.
It
That's what
was
y'all
it was
don't get. Very
it was
sneaky
being
team.
un,
So we
it
can
was
start
being
out with that.
unfamiliar.
We didn't react to that last week. We can start with that while Cory would be here about 12 o'clock. What did you think? Why do you think the Cowboys lost?
Some of it you just can't win every game, and some of it is that y'all suck against the run. Duh, and it's the power run game. Anybody that runs downhill and comes right at you, you guys still haven't figured out how to stop it. Because for better words, you lighting the ass around your
Which is
defensive
why they're
line.
very good at pass rushing, but
Yeah,
not so good at the running game. I
yeah,
think we take people lightly. I think it's always a preparation thing. When Mike McCarthy, this has been the MO of the team since Jason Garrett took over. We out if out physical can be a word,
yeah.
out physical. Or what do they say? They say out physical. Out talent people. And
Yeah,
if we out talent people, and that includes them getting up for the game and showing the effort, then we struggle. And that was a game plan preparation. That was a have a team ready to play against a team you were better than preparation. That's that. And that's what I struggle with the Cowboys organization. As long as the buck doesn't stop with the coach, then it's never gonna, it's like, how disciplined are your children really gonna be if they can go to their mama and get out of it? You're not gonna have a disciplined child because the consequence, or vice versa, be sexist, but if the consequences are not there, you're never gonna have a disciplined person that you're raising.
y'all suck. I mean, you can bounce back this week, but no, for real, like y'all got to figure that. Y'all got to figure that out. You have to overcome that one glaring weakness, in order to consider yourself a Super Bowl contender. Like the big picture for Dallas. Like the team is definitely talented enough to be in the conversation, and on the NFC side, like if you could make an argument they're 1A, 1B for the most part so far this year. And in order to get over that hump, you got to figure it out because your main enemy in your division is a power run team. You know what I'm saying? And then the Niners, your other main competition looking into the postseason, if they are to get that far, is a power run team. So it's just something that they just got to overcome. And it could be an identity thing. It might just be that they need to figure out a different personnel switch. Because I don't understand why you don't have the people there capable of doing it. So I want to say that it's just more of they're just not putting the right personnel out there against those teams.
We just get out coached, man. That's the problem. We get out coached all the time, and even in preparation, we struggle with that, and it's just really annoying. This always happens every year, and sure, upsets happen. You lose. It's like having Mike Tomlin as your coach, man. That's what
Yeah,
this is. We're like a
if
Mike
you say,
Tomlin coach.
if you
So
say,
that's highs and low. Mike McCarthy and Mike Tomlin are the exact same guy. So I'm
I ain't
not.
seen Tomlin drop too many double digit spread favorite losses. It's pretty good.
I've seen him. I mean, he lost to Tim Tebow, but I've seen him have a team
I
that's a
don't think
big
that
game
actually
just totally
actually that
unprepared.
spread was a touchdown. Thank you, sir. That was not almost 12 points.
But it was definitely a upset that shouldn't have happened. But Mike
Oh yeah,
Tomlin, his deal is if they're the favorite against a good team, they're gonna get blown out. But anyway, they're
yeah.
the same to me. If you look at their records, you look at Super Bowl, same guy. We just hype one up because
Mm-hmm.
black coaches matter. But let's get to the games. I'm not going to continue to be a hater.
We're
We'll let
talking
Cory
about
back in on this game. It's the game of the week by far. the Buffalo Bills playing the Miami Dolphins, and how you see it playing out?
I mean, I don't think anybody can actually slow down the Dolphins, but it's one of those things where you probably are better off trying to limit the space that they have to work with when you're in the middle of the field, and then when you get in the shorter side of the field, so like the red zone, you got to shut down those running lanes, man, and you got to be disciplined on defense because they're doing some crazy outside zone read, like just a lot of athleticism on their offensive line that's getting overlooked. So linebackers got to stay at home. You got to be disciplined on defense, and then offensively, you got to go after them. I don't think they're a great defensive team, so I don't understand why people don't get more aggressive against them. So I see the Bills stepping up and winning this game and covering the spread because Josh Allen is he just has great games against the Dolphins, and I don't see that slowing down any here. I would like to see them use Gabe Davis a little bit more today. But if it's just the Allen and Diggs show, they can get it done.
I think one thing, familiarity with opponents matters in the division game. And if you're just looking at it from a betting perspective, everybody's so high on Miami. And that's where, what I heard, the money was going. So, and just the way the NFL goes, those kind of games typically, it's a home, what are they? They are home favorite, but those kind of games typically a team like Buffalo will win this. Also, they're 9-2. I think Josh Allen is 9-2 against the Bills. From my perspective, I think the Dolphins are a lot better than the Bills, but the Bills are playing really well, so you can't discount that. But I feel like someone's gonna figure out this Miami team. Not early on, maybe.
Bro. Come on, man. They ain't reinvent the wheel. It's just they're really good. I'm not gonna lie, they're really good. But
the speed is the problem.
Yeah, the speed. But system-wise, it's nothing. There is nothing different about this team system-wise. The offensive line is way more athletic this year. I do give them that. But like their passing attack and everything's still the same. I don't understand why people are giving them so much fucking space. I get that they're fast, but dude, if you're sitting back and they're still beating you for 70-yard gains, why not come up, press, throw off their timing, do something to try to disrupt them? And for God's sake,
even in the play you showed me, where the first touchdown was scored by Tyreek Hill, he ran the damn wrong route. If you look at the and it still worked.
And in that play, it was like a 15-yard route that he ran. There was nobody around him until he went behind the damn dude that I think the pass was supposed to be intended for, and the safety jumped in front of him and still left him open. Like, if you're gonna play them like that, you're an idiot. Buffalo stopping the run.
Part of the problem is they use a lot of motion. They're even doing motions that people haven't seen before. Tyreek Hill was at tight end one time. So they are adding some wrinkles to it, but it is essentially the same offense as last year. They're not reinventing the wheel, but I don't know. I think they're really hard to stop. If anybody can stop them, I think a team like this that's familiar with them. I'm still going to pick the Dolphins. I wouldn't bet on the Dolphins. I'm going to pick the Dolphins because I just think they're better. Maybe I'm a sucker, but I just think the Dolphins are better right now. It's hard for me, for what I've seen, it's hard for me to go against the Dolphins right now.
So gambling wise, there's more public money and more interest in the Dolphins, but this line has not moved. So that lets you know right there, like, for everybody that's always quick to say the NFL is rigged, they're literally telling you what's going to happen in the game more than likely, or the probability of Buffalo winning is not going to be a shock. Just like it's not going to be a total shock if the Dolphins win. But you can't let this game get down to the last possession and Buffalo kick a field goal and you say the NFL's rigged. No, it's a close game. So if you like the Dolphins, bump it up to 3. If you can get it at 3.5, I doubt you will, but take that, and take a chance on the Dolphins money line if you like them. If you like the Bills, just hit the spread. They'll cover if they win. And
what's wrong?
Can I answer his question real quick though about them stopping the run? Yeah. So Buffalo, like Ed Oliver and those guys are actually pretty slick at stopping the run. They shoot gaps a lot. They're pretty forward-leaning, aggressive defensive line, and so it can get you. It can definitely bite you in the ass against the right rushing offense, but against a team like the Dolphins and these teams that like to do the little zone runs where they get you out wide and do the cutbacks and stuff. I think with the guards pulling and everything, the Bills match up pretty well schematically against the Dolphins' run game. Now, don't expect them to completely shut it down, but I think that they'll do a lot better against the run game than say like a team that plays everybody straight up like the Broncos, because they were just getting clobbered.
I actually agree with. I agree with Tony. Tony just made a comment that said that the Redskins, or the, what are they now? The Commanders are a lot. They made the Bills look a lot better than they actually are. So I do agree with that. I don't think the Bills are as good as what they showed. And this is definitely a Josh Allen kind of turnover game. So I think we can watch out for that. It just depends on if you get the good Josh Allen or the bad Josh Allen. I would say 75%.
You've never seen bad Josh Allen against the Dolphins, though. Like, you've never seen bad.
You said
Josh
what?
Allen. You've never seen bad
That's
Josh
true.
Allen.
Well, I wouldn't say that. They had him drop back 60 times, and how many turnovers they had? He had like 4 turnovers last time.
And they didn't have no. I think that was a game they didn't have no receivers, and he still ran for like 1,000,000 yards.
They lost. He had those turnovers, so they lost. All right, so are you picking? I guess you're picking. So I'm picking with my brain instead of what I know, what they're saying in Vegas, and just the matchup. And so, and you're picking, with
I mean,
the
I would have
intelligence.
went with the Bills regardless. For the same reason. I picked the Browns against Joe Burrow. It's just the team that does well against this particular opponent. So
that's also true.
Yeah.
Traditionally. All right, let's go
Stop trolling my boy,
to the next game, and it's gonna be a rough game. The 0-3 Broncos at the 0.
Did I lose you?
Did you see Chase Claypool in his comments?
I saw Chase Claypool got benched.
We're breaking up.
Yeah,
because he said they weren't using him correctly.
Yeah, for speaking the truth.
But I mean, they suck all around, and it'd be nice if he actually ran routes.
It'd be nice if they actually design good plays too. Broncos got to win. If they don't win, they need to ship, or as people say on Twitter, shoot Sean Payton and Russell Wilson into the sun, man. Like, come on, bro. The Bears, like, it's one thing to suck, but they're like incompetent and they suck. So, like, come on, man. I don't think the Broncos are necessarily incompetent. They just not executing. So and they just gave up 70 points and they're still favored by 3. Come on now. They got, like, it's got to be Broncos here. I'm not going to waste too much time on it. If not, they're really trash.
I mean, you're saying they're really trash and they just got 70 points scored on them, bro. But I don't know what more combination we need on them. But yeah, I guess give me the Broncos. I don't think maybe they'll come around, but the Bears are in a state of disarray that I haven't seen in a long time. They didn't play that many games for this team. They're just 0-3. They're acting like people are jumping off the ship. They're throwing they're throwing the coaching under the bus. It's wild. It really is wild to see a team break down that a team have a mental breakdown like this. So easy, so early in the season. And Tony did bring up that thing that showed all the teams in every league or something that had won a game since the Bears have won a game, and it was like 30 teams in all the leagues. So it's crazy, but I agree with you. If I had to do it, I would go with the Broncos, even though the Broncos are 1-8 against the spread is favorite since this season, since last season. We got an interesting game here. I'm not sure if somebody on the thread can tell me the status of Deshaun Watson.
He's not playing. Playing.
DTR is going to play.
The lines flip. Ravens are favored by 2.
Who is it?
Ravens are favored by 2 now.
Ravens are favored by 2 now. Now I
Yeah.
do like DTR, but mostly the defense. The Browns defense has been amazing so far, even historic on some level. So I love what did you see the film of Myles Garrett whenever he shifted, 3 people shifted with him?
Bro, I've been making fun of people for doing that since week one. They now rightfully so, they afraid of this motherfucker. And they should be. I ain't gonna lie.
They should be very afraid of him.
Yeah, he's a monster.
I, I, uh, it's tough.
It's not.
I see Baltimore. I I
You
don't
know
know.
what you want to say. You know what you want to say.
I
You
don't, I
don't
don't want
trust
to.
Lamar
I'm not
Jackson
here
in
to
the
dog.
spot.
I'm not here to dog him. I'm not here to dog the man.
Yeah, it's nothing. It's nothing to dog for real. Like I'm not trying to be a jerk either, but this is a legitimate defense. This is the type of defense that really could win a game by themselves. Like for real, they really could. And Lamar is doing that thing again. He can't close the game out to save his fucking life. And
Well,
you don't want to be holding the ball too long against this team. You don't want to be taking unnecessary hits. His runs per game went from 6 to 12 to 16. He ain't doing 20 carries against the Browns and thinking he gonna get through the end of the game. It's just not gonna work. The Ravens need to find a way to get their playmakers involved, and it can't be playmaker. It has to be playmakers with an S at the end, and they still haven't figured it out. So it's gonna be a long game.
I think Zay Flowers is not all people cracked up to be. He's a kick returner playing wide receiver, and that's a little bit
I don't know why
different.
you hate on him, bro.
I don't like him at all. The hype. I mean, he's an all right player, but the hype. People were saying number 1 receiver in the draft.
Oh,
How?
yeah,
No,
that's they tripping.
I heard a lot of that. That's why I'm on it. I mean, no, this dude, Jordan Addison, was better. Anybody that wants to say a lot of people, most people I saw had Zay Flowers over Jordan Addison. No,
That's crazy.
no.
That's
So
crazy.
that's why I'm hating on him because it's too much. If you see on here, the Ravens are 18-3-1 against the spread as underdogs since 2008, the best record. They were 12-10 outright. Lamar Jackson is 11-1-1 as an underdog. So we can keep that in mind, but it doesn't necessarily account for the how really good. My takeaway from last week, my biggest takeaway was we were hyping up my team as the greatest defense of all time. Even Jeff Rushing compared them to the 2000 Ravens.
That's because he doesn't get out enough.
And he still believes in the wishbone. And the real problem, or the real defense that has potential for greatness is the Cleveland Browns. That was my takeaway from all of last week. So I got the Ravens. I think the Ravens cover, and I think they win outright. So somewhat small upset.
I'm on the hook at Westgate for Browns 2.5. So I'm gonna need prayer, but yeah, it would be a no bet for me. With still a slight lean at a Browns like cover. I wouldn't be shocked if because DTR is. I don't think DTR is a big drop off from Watson, man.
Well, that was his best game last week, but
yeah,
I don't think so. I think he's going to be good. I liked him. And the coach, this is what Cleveland's coach wants more than anything else. He wants somebody he can control and run the offense and create easy winners for. Whereas Deshaun Watson, he's looking for the big play. We're talking about the McVay system. So you're looking to create easy passes. And this is what they would prefer a robot over somebody that's reactionary.
Oh yeah, and I'm interested to see how he looks with. Well, I guess he hasn't never played with Nick Chubb because Chubb didn't play with him during preseason. So
nope.
DTR get the ball to the playmakers and let them spin and let the defense do their thing. So Ravens favored by 2 makes sense. You know, if you're gonna play Baltimore, but if you want to take a risk like me, just stay in Cleveland.
And they don't have Chubb, so we'll see how much it didn't seem to affect them last week, but their defense stepped up. But I do think that's a running back that matters. Next game, we have the Cincinnati Bengals, who are limping along, but they found a way to win. My hot breaking news is that Joe Burrow has the I don't know what you would call it, the whatever covering he had over the calf is no longer there. So maybe he's 100%, but honestly, I don't know how he could be. Last week, I was texting my brother, and there was a floating pass to the outside the numbers, and it looked like Peyton Manning his last 2 seasons. So he's not able to get any leg or enough leg into these passes outside the numbers and on these deep passes. And I'm concerned because it's not going to just magically go away.
Hey, somebody update me on the score with the Falcons Jaguars game, please. And then, man, nothing wrong with Joe Burrow, bro. I'm not listening to that BS, man. And I ain't gonna lie though, you right. Like he don't look like he getting enough traction on it, but I don't think that's an excuse to the poor
20
play.
to 7. 20 to
20
7.
to 22-7?
20 to 7, yes.
Okay. All right, cool. I can live with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, yo. But anyway, the thing with the Bengals, I'm gonna keep saying it over and over again. Stop going side to side with this goddamn offense and take them downfield. You got the most dynamic receiving core in the league if you actually use them, but they seem to have issues. Like Mixon gets 4.5 yards a carry, but he only get like 15 carries a game. They finally put it all together last week, and they still only won because of what the Rams left on the table. But worst defense in the league in the Titans. Mike Vrabel's an idiot.
No, stop.
I don't even know.
He's a great coach. What are you doing?
Nope. I'm off the Vrabel train. I am off the Vrabel train.
What is he doing wrong? They have no talent.
What is he doing wrong? What is he doing wrong?
Well, they're lacking talent.
I'll start with the offense and then ask why haven't they tried to address it? They don't have a legitimate pass rush anymore or anything going well for them on defense. Why is Ryan Tannehill still out here if you drafted Will Levis and you wanted
No. If you drafted Malik Willis, I'm gonna start with
but Malik Willis actually had a decent preseason. Looked like he was making progress. He beat out the dude that you brought in to take over for your current quarterback.
I know, but you said you drafted that dude. They drafted Malik Willis the year before. That's who should be in. I'm on the train. Let it rip.
Tajay Spears that they halfway using. Like, bro, you got enough talent. You got enough talent to be at least 2-1 and not 1-2. Like I don't like the game. But the game, the game last week, they were struggling a little bit, but they were in it enough until like right before the half, they could have got some points on the board, took some momentum in, and they come back out and try to score. And this idiot let the clock run out, trying to be overly aggressive with that bum Tannehill. It's just little stupid calls like that. He kicked the field goal down 4.
Well,
against the Saints, like he was going to get the ball back with like less than 2 minutes left. It was like 2 minutes and 20 seconds or something like that. He kicked the field goal. Like, come on, man, get out of here. Anyway,
what's his name?
The
Raiders coach. Word to him.
Yeah, about as dumb as that. If the Bengals can't snap against the Titans, I'm done with them too. But I expect this to be the time where they just knock off like 9-10 covers in a row. And the Lions at 2.5. They have great numbers against Tennessee historically, a team that they have kicked in the face no matter where they played them at. So I hope to see them air it out. I think Jamar Chase has a big game. You know, my man ain't scored a touchdown yet, bro.
Did you know that over past 15 yards that Joe Burrow's 1 for 15?
Oh my God! Yeah,
Cory was making fun of me because I like Joe. He was killing me. They showed that stat, bro. I can't do this. I can't do this with him. I can't. But your boy Drabel, you want to hate on Drabel, but these are numbers.
It's Drabel, not Drabel.
What I say?
And I get all that, yeah, yada yada.
Good 15-1 against. He's a really good against the spread. Like
I'm talking about results right now. I ain't talking about the number. I'm talking about results.
Remember the coach I love from Minnesota that was defense coach, and I was on him for years. What was his name? The Vikings coach before this. Because he had good number against the spread.
Was it?
Yeah, I remember sometime. That was a disciplined team, man. Look at him now.
Wasn't it Zimmer?
Yeah, it's Don Zimmer. It was. Yeah. All right, so let's move on to the Rams and the Colts. Richardson will be in the game. I will be a little surprised. Well, I have been a little surprised at what the Rams have done this season. I guess I hate on Stafford, but they've been competitive with 2 receivers that basically we're not used to seeing come out of nowhere. Tutu Atwell was on there, and the other guy, Poncho, I'm gonna call him Poncho. He's been a
Pokemon.
Cooper Cup comes back next week. How real do you think the Rams are?
I think they're solid. I think it's been a pretty decent coaching job, given how much they depended on Cup last year and what they've been able to do with Puka and Tutu. It's a crazy combination of names there, but defensively they look like they got a little bit of energy, and what I'm seeing is effort. I mean, they didn't quit in the Niners game, and they definitely didn't quit in the Bengals game. It's just the execution down the stretch when these games get tight, and it seems like honestly, whenever somebody blitzes Stafford, the line can't really handle the extra pressure. And the Bengals brought a lot of extra pressure last game. The Niners waited almost 3.5 quarters, but when they started doing it, it kind of threw them off too. So I don't think they'll face that kind of resistance against the Colts. I want to see them get a run game going. McVay's the only guy from the Shanahan tree that doesn't have a run game. He's never really had a solid. Weird. I don't understand it. But I like to see them figure that out to kind of ease some of the pressure on the rest of the team. But this is a game they should win. I think Aaron Donald versus Quentin Nelson is the matchup I've always wanted to watch. So that's where I'll be for the entire game. Can't wait to watch the all 22s on those two.
This is tough because I think the Colts might be better than I think they are.
What?
Which they won last week. They're 2-1. I mean, I don't know, but I'm not high on the Colts. I do think the Rams will come in and win this. Stafford has been playing all right, especially with not a great line. I'm gonna give him some respect if he can carry this team to like 8 wins. I'll probably shut up with them for a while because that would be something. They're not that talented anymore, and they gave just I guess out of respect for Matthew Stafford. We got another game. It is not a great game, but it is a game, and we preview all the games. So we got Tampa Bay hosting. Well, not hosting. We got the Saints hosting the Buccaneers. Line was at 3 on ESPN. It may have moved by now. How do you see this game playing out?
Well, Derek Carr was announced as starting, so if it was at 3, it might have went down a little bit, or at least I would think Derek Carr's worth at least a point. But if not, that's hilarious. As long as Derek Carr plays, and I think Alvin Kamara is coming back this game as well, it should be a win for the Saints. I don't expect much resistance from the Bucs in the sense of them doing anything special than they've done the last couple weeks, and they're probably lucky enough to beat the Vikings, and then they were even more fortunate to have the Bears come in and run the same damn play 4 times in a row. But they got manhandled by the Eagles. I think the Saints win this division, so I expect them to beat the Buccaneers as well.
I mean, it's been a cute little story for the Bucs and having Baker halfway play well. Kamara is back this game. You get Carr. Carr is playing, you said? Because your boy was warming up and Jameis. So I would have definitely went the other way. But I definitely would have went the other way if Jameis is starting. However, he is not starting. So we're going to go with the New Orleans Saints. And also, their defense has been pretty good. So
their defense has been underrated.
Yeah, so Baker is going to have trouble with that. That's not something that Baker handles well, and they've done really well with Baker. I mean, I can appreciate that. But Baker will give you 2 games where he plays well, and then it'll all go to hell for a while. And then that attitude that everybody doesn't like and all that stuff comes up. So I think that any you have New Orleans covering the spread too?
If it's 3, they have not been a team I want to trust over 3.5 right now, because they didn't cover that. And I think they actually pushed on their 3 against the against the Panthers. They didn't cover against the Titans, and they got beat by the Packers. But they ironically they did cover against the Packers.
And
It
they
was
just gave
minus
that game away.
Yeah,
How
it
did
was
they give that
minus
game
2,
away?
and they lost by 1. So,
That is
but
funny.
yeah, I don't want any parts of them over 3.5 or over 3. So
How do
anything
you
under
give
3.
that game away like that? That's just 17-0 in fourth quarter. You just give that game away to a Jordan Love team.
Jordan Love had me fooled, man.
But I was almost like, okay, well, he might be good. Maybe I should shut up, but
But you know what,
good.
though? While we on this topic real quick, I did coin the term. I think he's the first microwave quarterback. You know how like Klay Thompson, you gotta get him to get the ball to go through the hoop at least 2 or 3 times, and then he can't miss. I feel like Jordan Love's that same way. Like if he can get 2 or 3 completions off, and then he get into a rhythm, like you're gonna be in for a long day. But if you can keep him off that rhythm, then he's average at best. I'm not saying Clay's average at best, because even when he's not in rhythm, he's still pretty good. But just that term microwave. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good point. He kind of needs that, and he's rhythmic and everything. This is a high line. Commanders at the Eagles. What do you think? What do you think has been going? I should have picked it for the high roller contest. What do you think has been wrong with Jalen Hurts so far? You've talked about it.
I just think he's not. I think he's not in sync with the play calling. Like his deep passes that he's had don't seem like it doesn't seem like he's going through progressions. It seems like he's predetermining that he's going to throw this ball deep, or he's predetermining he's going to hit this person, and that's why he's had some turnovers, or more frequent turnovers than what he had last year in the sense of the passing game. But they did bring back a lot more of the RPO looks in that Buccaneers game, and if they can reel him back a little bit, they should be fine. And with that defense, I don't think he's really like. Tony always talks about how people complain about Dak's interceptions because they are back-killing interceptions most of the time. Whereas Josh Allen, for some reason, doesn't get penalized because it doesn't hurt his team as much. And sometimes
he definitely gets penalized. But let's stop rambling. My real brother,
it's not the
Cory.
same. But
Cory
Jalen Hurts, I think he probably can. Jalen Hurts is kind of the same way.
Filibuster. Can you hear me, Cory?
Yeah, well, I'm trying.
Do you think Jalen Rose?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Right.
I hear this man.
Jalen Hurts. What'd you say?
Keep going in and out.
Do I think Jalen Hurts is what? Is Jalen Hurts what?
Taking a step back.
Yeah, I mean that's obvious, but I don't think it's anything to worry about. I mean, I think there's very few quarterbacks who just have 16 perfect games. Like, I'm not worried about Hurts, and they're winning, man. Like, more importantly, they're winning football games. Like, he's never been like, in my opinion, he's never been, I'm gonna throw for 300 yards anyway. Like some of those games, he was throwing for 212 yards last year, right? So there's nothing that I see that is like lack of accuracy, lack of going through progressions, things of that nature. So no worries on my end. It's good to see him and AJ get on the same page, and I never considered him a top 5 quarterback.
A lot of people do, though. A lot of people do. I mean, I like it, but
I mean, it's hard. If anybody going to top 5 quarterback off 10 games, you can't call nobody a top 5 quarterback off 12 good games. I mean, that's just crazy. I mean, we've seen a spot good year from how many people over the course of the history, Cam to who you name it, and they all get put in the top 5. But it's consistency, and
Malik Willis needs to start. We're gonna have a spot good year for Malik Willis if you get the man in the game. So Cory, we went over. We started a little bit earlier, and we went over the Buffalo and Miami game. How do you see that playing out?
I like the Bills because it's at home. Miami's offense is really, really, really good. I think that they've also won 2 close games against actual NFL teams. So I think they're overvalued based upon last week. That's an anomaly. I like the Bills here for sure.
Do you think if they do win, what's it look like if they win?
It looks like a hot team. I mean, the teams that get out to these 4-0 starts, they usually aren't the ones that are here come the Super Bowl. I mean, it's a hot team that's offense is clicking and quarterback's one injury away from the season going over, and we know he's injury prone. They're one Tyreek Hill injury away from the season being over. Like, I mean, there's just a lot to be desired when it comes to the defense, and they haven't played anything close to a good defense yet. So these people are running free, like they're good. Don't get me wrong, and I think they're a Super Bowl contender. But what we've seen is them against a bunch of defenses who are just very much inept.
Clearly, if somebody scores 70 points on you, yes.
But not just them. I mean, it also paid the Chargers, like
which is not
the people that can't stop anybody.
Yeah, let's get our. It's 9, unless Alan, you got an adjustment because I got this from ESPN. 9.
I mean, I'm not messing with the Commanders.
They're home. They're home. No, the Eagles are home. Oh,
I don't. They can be playing in the owner's backyard. They still gonna get their ass whipped, man.
I mean, after losing that bad, I will say though, and both of you, we've all commented on this. When an NFL team gets humiliated the week before, they usually play a lot better the next week. But Commanders do suck.
Yeah. Because like Cory always says, they're professionals, man. Like at the end of the day, they're professionals. And I will say that I've been low on the Eagles, not covering games or covering like they should. But this would probably be the game where I back them and then they actually do drop a dud and only win by like 6.
I mean, they did beat them last year. They did beat them. So, and that was a cause for concern. They beat Cowboys.
Was it in Philly though?
I don't remember. I think it was in Washington, but it was the first defeat, and it kind of came out of nowhere. And remember, they were posting all the memes where the Cowboys fans were right behind the Philly fans.
I hate to call this a get right game for Philly, but it feels like a good right game. And what people aren't talking about, and I was so confused when he didn't get the start when he came over, and I've always been confused why this guy doesn't get the rock more. Is Swift just looks like the Swift we always seen, except for he gets carries, and the holes are as large as I've ever seen. The holes are as large as I've ever seen. He's like in touch for 7-8 yards. And we know Philly's line is like that, but it feels like they're relishing the fact that they have an explosive back there who can actually get stuff after the carry. So how good does Hurts need to be if that running game's like that? They're getting 5-6 a pop without any scheme.
And that's the key to it too, even though maybe their defensive line will be better. Man, their offensive, the line of scrimmage on both sides, they should dominate. Sam Howell's weakness is holding the damn ball, and they're playing the best pass rush or second best pass rush in the league.
A gambling tidbit here from Robbie Rodriguez. He hit me up this morning. If you look at the sack props for the Eagles, their interior linemen right now are getting pretty good value to pick up a sack between Cox and Carter. And with Howell's holding the ball so long and stuff, I think there's a pretty good chance that one of them might get a sack too. So he's going to play it. And I was like, that's a pretty good idea.
Call me a hater. It's probably true of the Cowboys, but they found Tupac's killer before the Skins made the Super Bowl again.
He ain't killing. He just gave the man the gun.
That's us, 49ers. But
he ain't held on from a technical standpoint. He ain't pulled the trigger, man. I don't even understand why he was doing all them damn interviews with his dumb ass. Shut up. You ain't pulled the trigger. You just gave the man the gun. Now you going to jail.
Hey, boy from the kid from Alabama, he got away with giving away a gun. So it's all political.
I mean, because he didn't do interviews.
that probably is helpful there. All right, Vikings at the Panthers. The Vikings do what they want to do. I want to ask both of you before we get into the game. And this is Joe Max. This is why everybody hates Joe Max now. It's funny how the group turned on Joe. But
I was on it first.
Do you believe in this regression of they were really good in close games last year, and so this year it's going to come back? It's a different team to me. I don't believe in that. I mean, I don't know.
There is something to be said. I mean, there's a lot of history and statistics that, like things like fumble recoveries and like interception drops, and like some of that is luck, especially if it's an admiration for a quarterback that historically hasn't been the greatest in close games.
Yeah,
Like, you don't just become good in it 1 year. I mean, it's different if it's Tom Brady always winning close games, but if it seem a little weird, it's gonna be a little weird. Like, they're not a clutch team historically, so them going 11-0 in clutch games does seem like that's something will be a little different. And some of
yeah.
that stuff.
But I think that's just random anyway. I'm not sure if it's a regression or has to go back and forth because it's random with the league, and maybe it is, but I just don't. I don't know. I believe
I mean,
in like,
I don't think, but I think to me, it just says that they weren't that good last year and no one thought they were good. So I
yeah,
don't
now I
even
agree with
call it a
that.
regression. It's just more of them seeing who they are. I don't think anyone thought that they were as good as their record. And if
Yeah,
you have to look into this, why this happened, and I mean, I saw Justin Jefferson jump over three people and catch a ball like this with one
yeah.
hand.
How many
Like,
times did
there's
that
stuff
happen?
like this that's just not gonna happen consistently. So I don't look at it as
Hey,
like, oh, the statistical anomaly. It's just like, why did that team win 13 games? And it's because they
hey,
won
look.
some games that they won't win.
In that same game, we also watched Josh Allen fumble the ball on the 0 yard
That was
line.
Yeah,
odd. That game was definitely a fluke.
Yeah, I
But
mean, that was a lot of their games, though, man. It was wild. So, I mean, I
they got to
think,
play Jeff Saturday as a coach. I mean, that's
yeah,
fortunate.
I think, I think some of that is just how things work out in life. You give people enough opportunities, they're gonna succeed. Like you throw the ball, or let's you play in traffic long enough, you're gonna get hit by a car, basically. So this is like one of those things where the Vikings stayed on that getting lucky all last year, and now it's coming back to bite them in the ass. I mean, at the end of this year, we might look back at the last 2 years combined and say they were 11 and 10 in close games, which would make more sense than somebody saying they were 11 and 0. Like, it's just natural regression.
Do y'all now? I think it's obviously early, but what do you think so far about Bryce Young?
I mean, he's a rookie, man. You can't tell anything about a rookie. I mean, the most concerning thing to me is that he's already hurt. And everybody was talking about how small he is. So,
Yeah,
I mean, it looks bad when you see CJ looking like he's year three out there.
break a bit,
Um,
but you break it
it
up a
definitely
bit.
looks
Let me see it.
bad, and that's definitely not how I had it. I will
Yeah, I think in my
be very
you might have to go back in, Cory.
clear. I definitely thought Bryce was a better prospect than CJ. Bryce, I mean, I think people underestimate how good Bryce was in college. He's really, really good. So he makes these in the sand elusive plays in college that really Caleb does it. It's another thing with Bryce or Johnny Manziel are doing it. So
But I think so, but I think it'll be all right. To get some more weapons around here right now, it's like Adam Thielen, even though Andy Dalton did look better, but he's more experienced. I think Bryce will be all right. You just got to give him some weapons and give him some. I don't know, man. You gotta. He just need like next year we can see what he's got, but this year, it's his rookie year, so trial and error. What do you think, Alan?
Yeah, I think we just need more time with him. CJ Stroud definitely looks like the better quarterback right now. But when they were coming out, I said Bryce was the better playmaker, but I thought CJ was the better quarterback. So it kind of, when I watch the games, it kind of still stands out to me like that. Like, I'm not hypercritical of anything Bryce has done. The first two interceptions he threw was just, hey, welcome to the league. Safeties close quick here,
Yeah,
so you
a
got to
very
make
good
that.
safety set him up.
Yeah, and it was the best safety, one of the best safeties in the league too. So, I mean, I'm just looking for him to get better progressively, like with him. I mean, he's got to learn how to use Adam Thielen. Like, you should be getting the ball to your wide receiver one if that's your best weapon. Find a way to get him the ball. Andy Dalton got it done, and he's a veteran. So just like when he comes in to play today, I expect to see him make that adjustment.
So who we got?
Minnesota, I guess.
You can't trust them, but Carolina shouldn't even have the guns. They shouldn't have the weapons to even compete, really. But so I guess I would take Minnesota. It's really hard to take Minnesota as a favorite. They're favored by 4 on the road. So, but I mean, stranger things have happened, but no, they suck. So, let's go on to our next game, and give me 1 second. My favorite team, the Steelers and the Texans. Again, we talked about Stroud. We talked about how he's played CJ Stroud. The Steelers. Corey, you ready to give? Well, let me do Allen. Allen, what do you think of Kenny Pickett? Oh shoot!
He ain't losing the game. He ain't winning it either. So they just need to make sure they continue to surround him with talent. Otherwise, it'll be a long, long haul for them when it comes to depending on him.
And
Corey, you still gonna be a Kenny Pickett hater?
You can't be serious. You can't think that me watching those 3 games will make me think he's good at football. Like, how do you watch him play? How do you watch him play? How do you watch them play? Him be 2-1 and not come on here and say, you know what, this is my bad. Tomlin do be doing it. We're not a lot. Because that's what
he's serviceable. All I ever said. He's not awful. He's serviceable, man.
You got to give Tomlin the credit, man. They're doing it with not a lot. You got to give Tomlin
the worst offensive coordinator in football. Can I give him credit for that?
You said worst offensive coordinator?
Yes, they're the worst offensive coordinator in football.
He's tied. He's tied.
With who?
Arthur Smith.
Let's stop it. He got a horrible quarterback. You got to let that go. You saw what happened when he let the man air it out. You saw what happened when he let him air it out.
I said what I said. He's tied.
Well, I'll give Mike Tomlin the credit for this. He is 23-4 against rookie quarterbacks. I mean, he likes to beat up on bad teams and stuff. But I do think they have more talent. There's a lot of injuries going on the line. Tunstall is questionable. So I think the defense is just gonna dominate, and we're gonna have a rough day for CJ Stroud. How do y'all see it playing out?
I don't know. I actually think Pittsburgh's defense is not that good. And I like what I've seen enough from Stroud to think that they're not going to be terrible. So I still like the Steelers here, but I think Stroud, that's what he's been doing. I don't think he has this horrible regression game at all. I don't see it.
It's JJ Watt day. I expect to see a lot of TJ Watt. This is when they play their best, when it's a lot of lights. So I expect the Steelers' defensive line to be the reason why the Steelers win the game.
All right, Raiders and the Chargers. Let's flip through it because it's getting the game time.
My boy playing. Let's go Raiders.
Who?
O'Connell.
O'Connell playing, bro.
Yeah.
Adrian O'Connell. You don't know about Adrian?
What? Let's go.
Adrian O'Connell. Come on, bro. Purdue finest.
So y'all got them?
Hell no.
No, I ain't got them. Yeah, I ain't got them. Nah.
You got him on DraftKings. That's about it.
Yeah.
Jimmy doing his thing. He's hurt already. The Raiders just seem like a lost team. There's Devontae Adams, and everything else just seems just blah.
Yeah, I mean, they do the same thing year over year. They got a bunch of dudes that get off individually, and then, that's it. I mean, they should be good. They got Jacobs and Adams, and but the defense is always trash. So you can't. And the quarterbacks are always bottom 15 in the league. So it don't matter what skill position players you got. If you can't play defense and you don't have an elite quarterback, you can always be 7 to 9 wins.
And once they start losing, they'll make a run at the end of the season to look like they can win 7 or 8 games. But it's the same thing. It is a 5-point spread. How do y'all see that?
Oh, it went down to 5. That's the O'Connell effect, baby. It was 6.
Yeah, he moving the line.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So are you gonna cover?
I like the over. I can see them doing a backdoor cover. The Chargers play so bad D-man and without Mike Williams, without Eckler, like they're pretty one-dimensional. So I could see the Raiders covering. If I had to choose, I would choose the Raiders to cover.
Yeah,
I can see
I
it.
like the Raiders the backdoor.
Now, the real game of the week. Now, I will go into a deep, dark depression if we lose to the Patriots. 425 start, 1-2 Patriots versus 2-1 Cowboys. Usually we respond. However, you're playing Bill Belichick. You're Matthew Judon. I can see him getting off. But we should win this game, right, fellas? Give me some therapy.
No, here's the thing. Here's my only problem is when you go and look at who the Patriots lost to and how they lost. I think they're better than their record.
They start late. They
I
start
don't know.
slow.
I don't know how they're better than their record because they can't run the ball, they can't throw the ball, they can't stop the run. So they're not good. But if you look at just the games that they lost, they were in both of them against arguably two of the best 4 teams in the league. And I'm having second thoughts if Dallas is on that list. I'm not gonna lie, it looks like the same old Cowboys. I can't lie to you.
And
I just saw look, the NFL Sunday Countdown said that the Cowboys are preparing for Ezekiel Elliott and the Patriots. And then I looked at Zeke's stats, and I think he carries the ball like 6 times a game. So y'all already going in the wrong direction, man. What is y'all doing?
He definitely gonna get a touchdown. He definitely gonna score a touchdown against them. That's kind of messed up stuff they do. Now, for the people that defend Dak, I'm not a Dak hater. It's just reality. Dak is averaging career low 6.3 yards per attempt and 5.3 air yards. Is the second worst in the league next to Anthony Richardson. That's the level Dak playing on right now, man. You cannot make these excuses for this man that hasn't played well in it's been a while. I mean, he had good games last year, but consistently on a certain level, it's just not there. I wouldn't trust him.
He hasn't been the same after the injury. That's what people will tell. Just not the same quarterback. I was a Dak supporter, but he just hasn't looked the same after the injury. It's that simple.
And he can run still, but he can't seem to. The timing never came back, I don't know. But he ran a lot last year, but I mean this year too.
And, if you want to be honest, he ain't looked the same since Amari Cooper left.
That is true. You remember how bad he was before Amari Cooper came? And then everything started to light it up. Like after we weren't the best offense anymore. After we weren't like the best offense line ever. But after that, he struggled. They brought Cooper. Everything was on fire because he's a perfect route runner. So I was upset about cutting Cooper. He's not great, but he's damn good.
Yep.
So who y'all got? Cowboys not covering?
Patriots to cover, Cowboys to win. Patriots to cover, Cowboys to win.
Yeah, Patriots to cover.
Speaking of cover, 14-point spread. The San Francisco 49ers.
All right, I gotta go, bro. I gotta go.
All right. I would think y'all would have to sleepwalk.
I'm joking. I'll stay for this one.
I would think y'all would have to sleepwalk to lose this game or to really for it to be competitive. But the Cardinals they're frisky though. That's the thing. They've been frisky in every game.
Yeah, they still got a lot of all-pro talent. I mean, I'm not taking us to cover that. Not after what I saw last week from us. But there's no way we lose, I don't think.
No, the main focus for the Niners is just get the hell out of this game healthy. Like, I would even go as far as to say ending this game healthy is more important than winning it. Like, we just got to stay healthy, bro. Like, Debo's already nicked up. Ayuk is nicked up. Kittle was nicked up last week. The only person that's really healthy right now is McCaffrey and Purdy. I mean, even Trent got some knocks. So, I mean, obviously we want to win, but I don't give a damn about the coverage. Just be healthy, man.
I don't know what his health status is, but Kittle shouldn't play this week. That should be like baseball and what do you call it?
God, he got to play it. He got to play it. He might lose. That's the problem, bro. If we don't have Purdy, Kittle, McCaffrey, and Debo, we gonna lose. Don't matter who we play.
I mean, Ayuk, if he steps up, but you never know what Ayuk's gonna do.
We got no depth on
receiver. Ayuk's a better receiver than Debo, but it's not about the receiving. It's about the threat and what Debo does for an offense, the horizontal nature of him. But Ayuk's a much better receiver, but that's not what we need.
Y'all don't use him sometimes. I shouldn't even blame him. Sometimes, I mean, he's nasty, but sometimes y'all don't have an offense where you're just going to sit there and throw to a guy like that that's an X receiver and just
Nah.
beat your man. They want to win by scheme. So
Yeah, I mean, basically, it's if you play man-to-man coverage, you could light you up. If you play zone, we just won't throw it to him.
yeah, so you know. Cardinals are 3-0 against the spread this year as an underdog. They're the first team to be a double-digit underdog in the fourth game of the season, all 4 games. I think we all think Cardinals are going to cover.
Correct?
Yeah, but there's also some data saying that teams that outright win as double-digit dogs don't usually cover on the next week because they're celebrating the win. I don't really think that applies here because the Niners are beat up.
The Taylor Swift game that we've done well. We have not mentioned Taylor Swift, and we will not continue, but it is the Chiefs and the Jets. It is an 8.5-point spread. The Chiefs got loose last week, as Cory said. They did not play an NFL team, did not have an NFL defense, did not have an NFL coach, did not have an NFL quarterback, and they ran all over them. So the Jets are tougher, but you can't get me to believe in Zach Wilson. He brings nothing to the table. He is worse than Nathan Peterman. I have not seen a quarterback. Even Tim Tebow can run. I've never seen a quarterback like him. He really runs 20 yards back sometimes. I cannot describe how bad Zach Wilson is, and I could never bet on him.
Yeah, I don't know how they don't go just get a running quarterback, honestly. Like
or any quarterback. Like,
no, just go get a runner. Just go get one of those dudes that can just run around, bro. I don't understand it. Like anybody, Tyrod Taylor, like don't matter.
Because the backup can't be this bad. They should have kept Mike White. It's pretty
bro, they could have done a lot of things. Mike White, Jair Stidham, like there's a lot of ways they could have went without giving Zach Wilson the rock.
8.5, Allen. They're gonna cover. Taylor's in the building, so my boy probably gonna get 2-3 touchdowns.
I mean, that defense still. Here's what I will say. That defense is still very nasty, and the Chiefs have not looked like the Chiefs. So if we think they're gonna go out there and put up 30 points, I say I beg to differ.
Probably not, but
they're gonna. And I'm pretty sure the Jets is looking at it like we're gonna lose anyway, so we about to knock somebody's head off.
Yeah,
I can see that too.
They about to tee off on somebody. I can't back Zach Wilson, man. That'd be my only thing, man. This dude liable to give 14 away.
Tim Boyle. He sounds like a MAC player. Well, no, Eastern
Tim Boyle.
Kentucky. Tim Boyle, Eastern Kentucky.
Eastern Kentucky.
Boyle, yes.
I feel like they had a pretty explosive offense.
Yeah, they weren't bad. But I ain't never heard of Tim Boyle. You need a scheme to put somebody like him in. You can't just be put on what I see.
I'll take the Chiefs.
It cannot possibly be worse than Zach Wilson. I mean, they literally are scared to do anything with it. Seattle and the Giants. Interesting game. Giants won by the skin of their teeth against Arizona. Seattle is only favored by 1. Geno is hit or miss this year. The Rams did surprise everybody. I don't think anybody knew the Rams would put up that kind of fight. They look good. They beat the Lions. I thought that was impressive. I don't know what to think of the Giants. How do you think it's going down, Allen?
Giants defense sucks. Let me get Geno in his return to New York to pick up his jaw.
The greatest safety of all time is back, Cory.
I didn't know that.
Thought about return, but he is back, baby, to drop some more picks.
I didn't know that. Let me get the Seahawks. I was gonna say the Giants stay home, but when you got an enforcer like that, I bet Saquon don't play.
That's a given anyway. Half the time, if Saquon doesn't play. Let's do so. I mean, I feel like it's a sucker bet, but I would take Seattle. I probably wouldn't bet on it. If I had to bet, I'd probably take the Giants because the way my picks been going should go the opposite. Or at least the cover spread should be going. All right, Cory, you got any DSF winners?
Got to take Keenan Allen all day, every day. Adrian aired out O'Connell is 4K on DraftKings. Got to play him. I like some McCaffrey, and probably my most under the radar pick. Let's go with Josh Palmer. You can definitely put in some Josh Palmer.
Allen, we got any best bets that you want to give since you're Mr.
I finally got
Franchise?
a win. That's right, bitches. The Jags covered for me. I'm back.
Not past 10 Spence.
You know what? Because I got the Patriots at 7, but it's down to 6. I don't like when they drop like that. I'm staying with the Bills, man. Bills still 2.5, man. If they win, it should be by a field goal. I don't think it'd be more than a field goal. I still think that's a good play. So I'll go with the Bills.
Who are we gonna free again? Free Malik Willis. Anytime I root for a black quarterback, you know this is legit.
Free Tyler Lockett, and most importantly, free CD Lamb. This is crazy what y'all doing to that man, because y'all don't deserve him.
Kyle Pitts,
it's pretty bad.
Free Kyle Pitts. He ain't have a stat line today, did he? Did he have a stat? Kyle Pitts.
Probably not. He's on my fantasy team, so probably not. But
dog, that's crazy. That is crazy.
Real thing though, people still think Kyle Pitts is good. You're killing Drake London's whole entire career. Nobody even talks about Drake London. It's disgusting. It is disgusting what they've done. He had 4 points in fantasy, 4 receptions, 21 yards. I think it said 4 receptions. 4 receptions, 21 yards. No, wait. 5 receptions.
Somebody said Pitts is true.
No, that was last time. But yeah, 4 receptions.
You know what? You know what? I will take that trash on my team any day of the week. Y'all are crazy.
That's some expensive trash, bro. That is some real expensive trash.
Y'all crazy.
That's expensive trash. All right, folks. Enjoy your football Sunday.